a thinking pack challenge. This is a challenge that is very difficult. You cannot break or place blocks. You can program that little turtle thing to do it all for you. And the goal is to defeat the Ender Dragon, basically. Beat Minecraft. That is basically the goal. Now, one thing that I would love to do, I would love to start heading to the Nether. That would be ideal. But here's the issue. Here is the issue, is that we have not enough food. We have not enough food by any stretch of the imagination. And one thing that's smart is to load the world before starting the stream so that it doesn't take forever. Also, if you're wondering what's going on with the lighting, what is weird with that, also, I haven't actually said what we're going to do today. The idea is that we are going to, basically, we have been building a giant old-style mob farm. That is basically what we've been doing, but I think we're going to take a bit of a break from that today again. Possibly do it later in the stream, although this is going to have to be a lot shorter of a stream than usual. Obviously, like 4 hours is way too long. Which is what we've been doing. But we're going to try to work on our kelp farm here because we have... Oh, I think I still have it frame rate limited because I was AFK. Let me see. Nope. It no longer is. All right, that's great. That's great indeed. And I'll have to explain to you guys why the lighting's weird and why we're getting a lot of frame rate lag right now. But what we're going to attempt to do is we're going to attempt to take this kelp farm. Kelp is a very good source of food. And it's very efficient in the sense that you basically you let it grow, and it grows, it does its thing, and you harvest it, and it's basically an infinite source of food, and it doesn't take any fuel in this turtle to harvest it. And apparently that wasn't the right click button. And it just keeps coming into the chest, and you can take the kelp, smelt it in a furnace, turn it into dried kelp, then you turn the dried kelp into a dried kelp block, which you then can put back in the furnace. A dried kelp block costs 9 kelp to make and smelts about, I think it was 20 kelp. So that's basically an infinite smelting thing, and then you can eat dried kelp, which is very, very neat. Very, very neat indeed. So that is the idea. Now, here's the thing. This farm is way too slow. Way too slow. I did a lot of AFKing. I did have to keep eating kelp because I was going over here, getting these turtles to do some mining for me, which is excellent. Excellent indeed. See, there's certain benefits to having to use these guys instead of breaking or placing blocks ourselves. We did find, by the way, 4 diamonds. 4 diamonds and 15 gold, apparently, for that trip underground with this turtle, so that is great. So we can now do some things with 4 diamonds. We obviously need to send those guys down some more, because we need more diamonds. But here's the idea. Now, the Nether, which we're not going to head to this time, I don't think, but when we head to the Nether, it's going to be very difficult. Very difficult, because you think, how many times do you fall in lava, or do whatever, or you catch yourself with blocks, or you try to dig through a place, and you have to dig through a place with digging, obviously, and we cannot break or place blocks. So that's going to be very, very difficult. So I'm going to have to work on, we're going to have to work on what are we going to do to conquer the Nether. But first thing, before we even go there, we obviously need, need to get out of that pool of water. But we obviously need more food. We need more food because we're running out of food very, very quickly. We have here a little bit of extra food, which is nice, but it's not a lot. So we're going to need to set this up. What we're going to need to do is I'm going to try to set up an automatic furnace. So with an automatic furnace, you can basically have it automatically replenish the furnace, and we're getting a lot of lag right now, which is weird. It just is completely frozen. And I'll have to explain why in a minute. But we have basically got to set up a furnace, set up a turtle to automatically refuel the furnace, which I don't know how difficult that will be. We'll find out. And obviously this one source of production is not enough, so we're going to have to actually take this and add maybe 2 more. I'm thinking of having 3 of these turtle guys mining straight into, although the diamonds could be an issue, but 2 or 3 of these guys going straight into a furnace, and then the furnace automatically refuels itself and produces the dried kelp that we need to do our stuff. So that is ideal. That is the ideal situation. Now, you might be wondering, what is going on with the lighting? Why does that keep cutting out? And why does it look weird this week? Well, the reason it looks weird this week is because it is, what is it right now? I estimate maybe 28 degrees Celsius or so, maybe 27 in my room. Right now, it is very, very hot. The summer heat appears to have hit, which is not ideal. And what's the use in having light bulbs that produce a lot of heat and having computers that produce a lot of heat with large screens? So I just took the screens and made most of the screen white, like 2/3 of that screen, and so 2 screens, so it's an experimental lighting situation. So that's the idea. Anyways, what do you guys think we should do in terms of this thing? So the first thing, the idea would be to have a hopper chain coming from that turtle into a furnace. And for some reason that screen keeps cutting out, and I don't know why. I think it might be the adapter, might be something like that. I'm not entirely sure. It is plugged into my old computer. So what I'm thinking of doing here is we're going to try, actually, turning this chest into a hopper chain, because hoppers require chests in the crafting recipes, so we might as well just use it like that. But I need to find out, did our simple Kelp Farm program, when it drops items up, does it actually care what block is above? Does it care if it's a chest? No, it doesn't. It just drops them up. Okay, that is good to know. So we can just go ahead and use that then. So let's restart there. Let's go and start getting some materials together, ready to go. Also, we're getting a little bit of lag because using this laptop as a temporary setup, it doesn't like the heat. It really doesn't like the heat. So it's got quite a few slowdowns with that. But anyway, so we're going to have to... Oh, wow. Okay, why are there pillagers in the ocean? That makes no sense. Over to the left there. What? Hello? Hello, pillagers. What's going on with you guys? Okay, that's interesting. So we need to send these guys mining out a chunk just before we start. We also, of course, need to smelt some materials. So I think what we'll actually do is we'll take the gold ore. Let's take the diamonds. Let's take the iron ore. Was there something? Oh, there's another stack of iron ore. That's nice. That's very nice indeed. And we'll take a little bit of coal as well. And what is this? This is... Oh, obsidian. Oh, really? Okay, so apparently we can actually make the Nether Portal very easily because we already have the obsidian. We don't have to try to create it. Now, we want to F3G to show the chunk boundaries. We want basically to mine out the second chunk, but I found that doing a 16 by 16 area took way too long. It had to AFK for way too long for, like, if we were running this on the gaming PC, that would be fine, but on this laptop, it kind of ties up the whole machine, so that's not great. So what we're going to do is we are going to send these guys on an 8 by 8 or a 4 by 4, not entirely sure. One of the two. Should we send them here, or should we send them in the ocean? We should probably send them in the ocean. That would be ideal. Although, let's go... Okay, so many things to do. So many things to do, getting scatterbrained all over the place. So, well, which is kind of the definition of scatterbrained. When you think about it, the definition of scatterbrained is you get scatterbrained all over the place on various things. Hello? Why do I hear a husk? He's probably in the underground area. And, of course, frame rate lag. That is not ideal. Not ideal at all. Let's just see if we can do anything about this. We kind of need our render distance on. Oh, we have actually smooth lighting on, apparently. Okay, we don't need that. Let's just quickly adjust all these things. But if you guys are just tuning into the stream, welcome to you. Welcome to the day. Welcome to the stream. We are today... Let's turn off entity shadows, because why not? Okay, this should help a little bit, turning off smooth lighting. So we are today hoping to expand our kelp farm, make it more automatic, make it more effective. We can put some diamonds in there. We've got some gold ore. We've got some... I think that's about it. So if we can smelt some things, that would be ideal. Oh, there's some extra gold in there. All right. 816. That's good for making computers and turtles and things. And where is our iron? There we go. Okay, so this would be... 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64. And I just dropped them all in, so never mind. That was pointless. Let's just... I think it'll end with one extra coal in there, but we'll just leave that to run. And then we've got 37, so we want to not drop them all in this time. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40 is pretty close. We're going to waste a little bit of coal on that one, but it's close enough. Close enough indeed. All right, all right, all right. So, oh, we have 3 ender pearls apparently, so we could do some things with ender pearls. That would be amazing, amazing indeed. And we need some iron. What are we doing with the iron? I do not remember. We are doing things. We are making hoppers. That's what we're doing with the iron. Let's grab all this iron here. Actually, let's grab only 10 of this iron here. There we are. So 10 would make 2 hoppers. We actually need 3 hoppers. So let's grab 15 if we can. And that's 8 there. That's 5. There we go. Now that's 15 total. Now we're going to need to make a 3rd hopper over here. This would be, if we have some wood. We do not have any wood really over there. So let's go back over to here. And then once we get a stable source of food, then we can start heading on and being more adventurous and that kind of thing. So that's the idea. That's the idea. Now here, he's got saplings. That's great. We obviously need to improve our tree chop simple version 1 program, make it a version 2, and make it actually work more completely. But for now, he can do the chopping for us. He can do a lot of the chopping for us, at least. That's great. Let's actually just edit this just quickly. So edit tree chop simple version 1, because he always ends right there, but we need him to end back 1. So let's just go and go to the end of this. So turtle dot down, and we don't have this in a loop. No, we don't. All right. So then we just, as the last thing, do turtle dot back, and I don't know why it's not autofilling, but that's okay. So there we go. Exit, restart, cause why not? And it should be good to go. Should be good to go. So we have to go back manually this time, but next time we run it, it should actually wind up back here, which is going to be great. Going to be great indeed. Now, we can get this sapling. We can grab the logs. We can replant the tree, of course, because that is essential. And it would be good if we actually get another sapling out of this deal somewhere. But in the meantime, let's just go and make this into a 3rd hopper, and we can, we haven't made the first 2 hoppers, but we'll make the 3rd hopper first, and then the 1st hopper second, or the 3rd, or something. Something indeed. Okay, we need to actually smelt some more kelp there, so let's just, while we're waiting for the sun to go down, so that we don't die of mobs, let's make a dried kelp block. Let's start smelting things there. That's great. This is what we want to do automatically, essentially, and get lots of food that way. And you can only sleep at night or during thunderstorms. Okay, so we'll have to wait for the night time. Okay, so we have the first part of the kelp farm working, which is very, very excellent indeed. Lupus590's says, I'm guessing that the slideshow is because it's warm. Yes, you are correct, sir. You are correct. And just before the stream, like I was set up for the stream, but just slightly before that, I got the other cooling pad for under the laptop with a freezer pack in it, but apparently either that was not enough, or maybe it's in the wrong place inside there. I don't know. Trying to lift up a laptop while it's got wires coming out everywhere and it's like leaning over a desk as well, it's not easy. So I might have the freezer pack in the wrong place. Speaking of which, the other side is not too cool. Okay, so it's not going to start condensing inside the thing. That's good. All right, all right, all right. So let's see. Yeah, so actually, speaking of, while we're setting this all up, speaking of the whole, ooh, sapling. Speaking of the whole fixing the PC thing, and the tech channel videos, I started recording. I have a USB stick that just came in the mail. Do you call it mail when it's a shipping company? I don't know, because the mail, typically people think of like letters and small things like that. But anyway, yeah, so just got a new USB stick, and I was just recording video footage, basically doing a review, that kind of thing. So that's kind of the idea, and as soon as that's done, I'm going to try to use this to finish setting up the PC again. So we'll see if it works. That's the idea. Hoping to have a progress update by next Wednesday, but we'll see how things go. So far, been able to work on it every day this week, so that's good. G1 Games says, hello, Sir Tree. Well, hello, Sir G1 Games. Greetings, welcome to you. We're picking up saplings. We are attempting at the moment to basically take our kelp farm, and it is very laggy at the moment as well because of the heat in the room, probably. But we're attempting to take our kelp farm and expand it because it's not producing enough kelp and it's not smelting it. So we're going to try to set up an automatic smeltery system, which should be relatively easy. Famous last words. And hopefully expand this with another 1 or 2 kelp production stations. That's the idea. So let's go ahead and see what we have here. Ooh, we have an extra sapling somehow. Not sure where I got that from. G1 Games, I noticed you were live streaming, getting like 50 followers and all that on Twitch. Do you have Twitch affiliate yet, or like do you have the 3 average viewers or whatever the other requirements are as well? G1 Games says, "Did you like my kitty?" Yeah, it's a kitty. It's a cat. Cat, kitten, whatever you call it, various names for one particular creature. Very cute, very, very nice. All right. So, what do we have here? We have zombies apparently. And also, can somebody explain to me why there's pillagers floating in the ocean? They're over there that time. They were over there before. Like, just the pillagers seem to randomly spawn in the middle of the ocean for no apparent reason. G1 Games says, I'm close. I'm at like 2.6 out of 3. Well, I'll see if I'm ever able to... Like I said, normally I see the notifications when I'm not able to do something. Like, this computer... The stream won't run on this computer over here. That computer can basically only do one task at a time if it's doing a big task. But if I'm ever able to watch, then I would love to try to see your streams. It would be very interesting to watch. Okay, so let's see now. We're trying to send this guy mining because that's essential. Oh, okay, it's too scatterbrained. Okay, we need a hopper chain for the thing with the stuff there that starts with a K and ends with it's sort of like help, rhymes with help, but it's kelp. So if you need help with your kelp, then call the Peculiar Kelp Help service, and we shall help you with your kelp. June Game says, here's what you do to stop a raid. Kill them all except the banner one. Trap them in a boat, and no more will spawn. Ooh, that's neat. That's neat indeed. I would like to try to fight them, though. 2 issues with that. One is, well, the lag right now, obviously. But 2 is that we don't have any food to be able to fight effectively. So, what are we doing? Okay, need to actually concentrate. I think chests were on the list of things we can break ourselves. I think, if I'm not mistaken. And hopefully I'm not mistaken because I'm about to break it. But yeah, I think chests were allowed. I'm just trying to think if there's a way to, because we don't have a lot of wood. And okay, you know what? Let's craft 1 hopper and then use leftover wood to send our turtles mining again. That's kind of the idea. So craft 1 hopper, because that's the thing, is our wood is really restricting us right now. Let's just do this. You know what, we need this all for chests anyway, so let's just make 2 chests, and then put that there, and put this here, like that, and this is a hopper. Nice. So now that we have a bunny rabbit in the area, because apparently that's, that they hop a lot, so that must be related somehow. Now we can take this extra chest and go set it beside the turtle and start him mining, which is very excellent indeed. And this is, yeah, and if you're wondering why we have a slideshow for a game, that's probably because of the heat in the room right now. So we have to do something about that, and the first thing to do is to fix the PC, because that does not have that issue. G1 Game says, by the way, I want to make you a custom command that links your Twitch. Custom command, like a Minecraft command? Or... I'm confused. I think you're probably saying something obvious, and I'm probably missing the obvious. That's probably what's going on here. That's usually what's going on here. So, let's see, if we go over here, this would be, there should be some extra chests here, I think. If we have some, this one's full. Now, do we need all this cobblestone? That's really a big question. That one's full as well. You know what I think we should do? We'll just, I think I filled them all up. Doing game says, I want to make a command, exclamation point, PPT for my Twitch. Oh, neat. Neat. Well, that is entirely up to you, but that sounds quite neat. June Game says, and when someone does it, it sends them to your Twitch. Wow. Okay, well, that is entirely up to you. That is entirely up to you. Let's excavate. This should be easy to start. Actually, let's just check the fuel. Refuel. 4,793. That should be enough. So we want to excavate 8 because of the simple fact that 16 took way too long to finish, and these turtles don't like restarting the excavate program specifically. So that would be that. That would be that indeed. So the pillagers will be there. That guy will do his excavating. Oh, we need to actually force load the chunk so he doesn't unload and restart. So let's do slash. This is basically a manual chunk loader. Just do slash force load, add, and then your current location. And there we go. So now it is force loaded, so now it should not have issues. So that's that. This guy should mine the second area, but we don't have a chest for him. So we'll wait till that tree grows in front of the turtle. That's the first idea. When we get the mob farm properly running, then we basically will have the trees growing a lot quicker, which was very, very nice because we'll have bone meal. But let's start with this. Let's start by taking this here, grabbing a bunch of kelp. Let's terminate this program, and then we shall turn this chest into a hopper, because hoppers... Actually, I was thinking about this the other day, and I was like, oh, hoppers are expensive and can be complicated to make, and then I thought, wait, no, actually, we have a chest. We have a chest there already, and a chest, by the way, is just part of the ingredient for the hopper, so it's just basically an upgrade, which is an interesting way to think about it. So we're going to upgrade these chests into hoppers. So let's do this, just like that. There we are. That's 2 hoppers. Excellent indeed, and these can go over there. Whoa! Apparently it put 2 down at once. Also, I just realized, are hoppers allowed? I'm not sure if hoppers are allowed. And I was just placing them all, which is a bit of an issue. I cannot remember if hoppers are allowed, but what I do know is that without a pickaxe, I can't pick them up, even if I wanted to. So we need to go and use that turtle to break them. That's the thing. But I can't remember if they're an allowed block to break or place or what. Is the list of allowed blocks on the MODPACK page? Because I can't seem to find... I always lose the list. It's like... Yeah, it's not on the MODPACK page, the download page. I always lose the list. It's like every week, Lupus590 has to send it to me again, because I'm like, I don't know what the list was. So, June Game says, enjoy my host. Well, thank you, sir. That's very... Wait, are you saying you hosted the... I'm confused. Because I didn't see a notification, but... Or you're meaning like a future thing, I think. I'm not entirely sure. But if you guys are just tuning into the stream, which I am noticing that there's 5 people watching right now. So, welcome to you guys. Lupus590's says it's on the GitHub. Is it possible to add it to the MODPACK download page? By the way, if you guys want to download this MODPACK for yourself, there is a download page that is linked in the description. And my light keeps shutting off there. Alright, let's take this guy... Let's bring him over to places and have him pick up the hoppers for us. Oh, June Game says, no, I hosted right now. Oh! I see. So, did it come up on a notification? Like, I think I'm supposed to have those things on notifications. I think the notification didn't work, or at least I didn't hear it. That's for sure. That is for sure. But, actually, I use Muxy for notifications. This is all sidetracking. But, apparently they're ending their notification service or something, so, yeah, we'll have to see. But anyways, welcome, everybody. I'm noticing there's 5 people here right now, so welcome to you guys, welcome to the day, welcome to the stream. We are currently attempting to play Lupus590's ComputerCraft challenge because today we are basically the goal is to beat the Ender Dragon, beat Minecraft, that kind of thing, but you cannot break or place blocks, but you can program that little turtle thing to do it all for you, which is very helpful. And as you can see, kelp is not a very good food source, and if we're going into the nether, because that was a lot of kelp we just had to eat, if we're going into the nether, we want a lot of food, so that means we're basically going to need to gonna need a very, very, very solid food source. That is for sure. That is for sure indeed. And let's go and we're gonna need to pick up this hopper. We don't have a pickaxe with us, and I'm not sure if it's on the allowed list or not. So let's see if we can. Yeah, let's pick this up. Okay, so Lua turtle dot dig down. Done. Okay, he picked up the hopper. That's very nice. I'm assuming, seems to me I remember redstone was on the allow list. Now, the issue is that there's supposed to be a program that will automatically prevent you from breaking things, but there's a glitch in that program, so we had to disable it, like a mod or a script or something. So everything, I'm technically able to break everything. So, whoops. Didn't think that was lag there because of the heat in the room right now. But yeah, that's a bit of an issue. That's a bit of an issue. So we kind of have to remember at the moment. Most things we can't break. Pretty much everything. There's a few things such as obviously the ComputerCraft blocks. I think chests are on the list as well. Lupus590 says hoppers on the list, but they seem reasonable to add. Okay. That sounds good. So, yeah, this is a little bit complicated. So this turtle here at the moment, let's restart this guy because his job is simply, we have a simple program to mine kelp. Basically, he harvests kelp so that we can eat it. But of course, the kelp, you need to take the kelp and smelt it. So what I'm going to try to do is do that. We're going to need to smelt it in a furnace. Obviously, that's where you smelt things, is in a furnace. Lupus590 says the direction stuff of hoppers is a bit difficult to do with turtles, so allowing them seems fair. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, hoppers are difficult to place because they have the whole direction thing. So yeah, just being able to use a turtle to place them makes a lot of sense. That's very true. Okay, so where are we gonna... I'm just trying to think what's the most wood efficient way to do this, because wood is not the easiest thing to come by in this game, that is for sure, because we don't have a solid... hello, I broke that. Yeah, if you guys are just tuning in, we're having issues with lag right now because of the heat in the room right now. It's quite hot here. And this laptop, as the temporary setup since my PC, is actually down right now. Still trying to fix that. So we have weird lighting right now because I'm using screens as lighting, and the laptop is laggy. So that's kind of the idea. What am I doing here? Yes, tree. Let's run tree chop simple. It's a simple tree chop program, and it will chop the tree for us. And I do need to upgrade it because it doesn't actually replant yet, and it has no way of actually harvesting, like collecting the saplings that it breaks. That's the other thing. So we're going to have to fix that at some point, but we'll get to it eventually. We need to replant that, though. And so that is that. Lupus590 says... Oh, okay. It once again didn't break. Oh, but now it did break. We've got 4 logs. There we go. Let's do this one, too. And... tree chop simple, and I'm just seeing a sapling, not a sapling, but a stick on the ground, so might as well grab that as bonus wood. For less effort, Lupus590 says, modems can act as item pipes. Oh. Oh, that's interesting. How do you make a modem? Go back. Okay. And then we need a sapling. Yeah, so how do you make a modem? Modem can act as item pipes. That would be interesting. Modem. Okay, that would be... Yes, that's right. We used that in the thinking pack a whole lot. Wireless modem. Ender modem. Wired... Okay, so if we use the wired modem and use this one, and then... So stone and redstone. Really? Okay, well, what about the wire itself? What about the wire itself? Let's see. Wire. Wire. Nope, it's not called wire. It's called cable? Cable? Because we have plenty of redstone and we have plenty of stone, that's for sure. So, oh, redstone and cable. Okay, well, that would actually be cheaper. Come to think of it, that would be a lot cheaper. It might be a little more complicated, but a lot cheaper. So that's that. Now, we're not getting a sapling for this, which is not ideal. We do have some logs now. Okay, we can send the second turtle mining, I think. Let's attempt to do that. Let's grab some... Let's make these into chests. Let's get this going. Chests, please. Duh, you don't use logs. I'm like, what's wrong here? What? Something's off. Something's off. Something's not working. There must be a glitch. Nope, it's just that you can't use logs to mine, or to well, duh, you can't use logs to mine, but you can't use logs to make chests. You have to make them into planks, of course. So this would be that. So now the turtle here is mining away, mining away, mining away. Okay, he has not come back up to plant the stuff in the chest there. So let's go and set up the next area. So he's going down there. So this is the edge of where he's going. So let's set the next guy up here. There we go. And of course, we can put that there. All right, all right. Would the modems, here's the question though, would the modems be, oops, actually, is there something in here? No, there isn't. Okay. Would the modems be easier than the hoppers or not? I think they might be, because the hoppers, you have to mine all the wood for them. Yeah, we didn't get this kind of lag last week. I think that must be the issue, is the whole heat situation. All right, all right, all right. So this guy can go here, and I'm kind of curious how far the first guy has gone while we're not even paying attention. So let's say refuel first. How much fuel does it have? It has 78. That is not enough. We need some lava. Lava here. Refuel all. This is in fact 2078. That is nice. Okay, so now that we have 2000 fuel, that's not really enough for the whole trip, but it will have to do. It will have to do. So excavate with a diameter of 8, and this is now on its way. And now down here we have, how far is this guy already? Oh, he's running into coal already. He's down to level 56. All right, so that's about maybe 10 blocks or so. I think we're at 73 here, so it's maybe 15. And that is excellent. Excellent indeed. So, now that those guys are on their way, now we're doing very, very well indeed, and it's getting very, very dark indeed. We need to get inside indeed, because there's no way we're going to be able to fight mobs in our current FPS state. That is for sure. That is for sure. Lupus590's says hoppers require programming. Do they? Oh, no, modems. Okay, you say modems. Modems require programming. I happen to know of a module that makes it easier to do, though. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking hoppers could be very, very easy. So I'm thinking that I might just do that. That sounds like it might be ideal. Might be ideal. So let's see about fixing all this up. And we of course need more kelp. More kelp. More kelp. Let's have some help with the kelp. That's what we're trying to get. We're trying to get help with the kelp. There's a block of kelp. That should smelt 20. There. Now, why am I hearing something break? Oh, of course. That's the turtle. He keeps breaking things, and whenever he does, there's a creeper over there. That's not very safe. Hang on. Let's see if we can get around here. Can we deal with this creeper? That's the big question. That is the big question indeed. Creeper! We need to lure him away because there's not much chance we're going to survive in a combat fight against a creeper with a laggy computer. See? Just like that. Just ran right up against him without even noticing. Okay. Yeah. Hello, sir. Nope. Nope. Come over here. Come over here. You're too close to the building still. Too close to the building. You're not supposed to be there. You're supposed to be here. Give me some more sand, please. Let's use him to mine. Okay, come on, closer, please. Let's just use our shield. Just hold the shield out. And that was a laggy explosion. Yeah, we're definitely having issues right now. So that's that. We've got some more sand, more sandstone. Excellent indeed, excellent indeed. Now, I think we'll use hoppers because they're simpler. That seems like the idea. So we need a furnace. I'm just trying to think, where can we lay this out? Because if we put the furnace directly there, we want to be able to connect at least 2 other hopper chains to it. Oh, yeah, I was thinking of connecting the hopper chains to the beginning of this hopper chain over here. Because we're not going to really be filling them up to capacity in terms of the rate of going through, the speed. So we can just have them all coming out into the furnace right there. So that sounds like an idea. So let's get a furnace, of course. Furnaces, I think, were on the list. That's possible. We'll assume that furnaces are on the list, and we'll make one. So here we are. Here we are. Now, here's an issue. If the kelp doesn't come in fast enough, we'll be wasting kelp. That's an interesting point. So I don't know if this will be worth it or not. We'll have to see if we need to rebalance this somehow, which could get quite complicated. But the issue is, if the kelp doesn't come in fast enough... Ooh, and we need to break some blocks there. That 1 block of dried kelp basically will harvest... not will harvest, but will smelt 20 kelp, and we need it to smelt at least 9 to break even on efficiency, right? Because it takes 9 cost to make it in the first place. Now, here's the thing, that if we're trickling kelp into the furnace very, very slowly, then every time... Oh, there's the list. Thank you, sir. Thank you. That is very helpful. Let me open that over here. Okay, so hoppers, chests, redstone stuff, torches, furnaces are on the list. That is great. The list of allowed blocks. Okay. So, we need to start mining, and we need to discuss this as we're going, because if you get 1 kelp come in, and then it uses an entire kelp block to smelt it, and then eventually you get another kelp come in, then that's not great. Oh! Well, a simple way to solve this, very simple way to solve that issue, is just program this turtle, set him up so that he... Let me turn the screen here. Okay, set the turtle up so that he will only drop items into the hopper if he has more than 8 items in his own inventory. That means... or more than 9, actually. That means that there will always be enough kelp in the furnace to actually be worth the smelt. And preferably 20. Preferably 20, because that's the most efficient use of it. So I think we'll have to go for the 20. So let's just go ahead and dig out this area first to start with. We need to actually dig out a square. So let's... we need to dig out a square, but we need to start here. We need that spot for furnace and the spot below for hopper. Wait, is this... Wait, hoppers are not... Okay, hoppers in 1.12 even, they're a full block that you can't touch the sand underneath, but it looks like we can now, which is interesting. But, okay, so let's go have this guy dig a square. So, go back, because we'll need to build this in the ground, unfortunately, because of the way we set this up. So let's do this. Go back. No, not go back. Go right. Go left. Just go. Go left. Actually, I think it's right. So let's do 3 lefts instead and then back, and then this makes no sense, but that seems to be the idea. There we go. Now he's at the back of his thing, so now we need to have him go down. So Lua command prompt, we need to turtle.dig down. Done. Okay. turtle dot down. Nope, that's detect. We don't need to detect anything. We just need to go down. We already know there's no block below it. And that's that. Okay, that is excellent. That is excellent indeed. Now, here's the thing. We can use our programs. We have a bunch of programs here. We have build a square more specifically. So let's just go down here and then start typing build a square. Build a square. Sorry about this lighting. I don't know why it keeps cutting out. That's odd. Wait, sorry, it's not supposed to be build a square, it's supposed to be dig a square. That makes a big difference. So turn around again. Turn left twice. There we are. Okay, and then dig a square this time. There we are. Dig a square. And we need a diameter. So dig a square 3. Aha, now this, of course, we didn't account for odd numbers. It only works on even numbers, so it's going to dig a 4 long square that way and probably a 2 wide this way because it seems to round it that way. Or maybe it's going to do a 3 wide. No, it's not. It's just going to go that way. So we need to dig a lot, 4 because, or 3 rather, because we're actually going to need to dig out this next area here. And slowly, as it makes its way over there, then it's off to a good start. Off to a good start indeed. That is excellent. And that's great. So now we should be able to put the furnace down here. Let's have this guy go back. So go back. No. Let's turn him around. Let's turn him go left twice. There. Now we'll dig the square again, but down here. This will have to be dig 3. So dig a square 3. Done. Okay, now that will not... why did it not break that block? Oh, because we're supposed to go down a layer first. Aha, see? See, you forget how your own programs work and you run into issues. That's a problem. So go, let's set him back to where he was. Left, forward, forward. Oh, and mistyped the last one. Go forward. And there we go. Okay, so dig down. Let's command prompt. We need the turtle. See, a lot of these are programs that we have created already. Turtle dot dig down. This at the moment is the command prompt, the raw command prompt. But Go is actually a program that exists on the turtle already that you guys can use without any fancy preparing things. Go down. Okay. And then go right. Go right. There we go. That's great. Okay, now we should be able to actually do this. We should be able to actually... Okay, so... what was it? It was called something. It was called dig a square. Dig a square 3. And there we are. There we are. It's well on its way to digging the square. That is very, very nice. Very, very nice indeed. And come on, a little bit farther. Okay, and it would be nice if it would actually continue along that way. But, you know, we can't have everything. Let's go up and try our dig a lot. Ooh, that's going to break the hopper. No, it's not. That's fine. Okay, so dig a lot. 4, I think it was. Let's go 4. And there we are. For some reason, extremely laggy, but that is okay. Now, of course, we're going to need a way out. If we drop down, then we're going to need a way out. Oh, I just noticed as well, the Twitch channel just hit 1,500 views total on the Twitch channel. So, that's that. Well then, okay. Not entirely sure what to say, but oops, bumping the microphone. But, wow, okay. Thank you to all you guys. Glad you guys are enjoying the live streams. All right, we need to fix this now. Oh, we actually do have a way out now, which is great, but we're going to come here. As soon as we break that, it's going to flood the compartment, but we're going to have to work around that. Go back. Okay, there we go. Go right. And then here we are. Okay, so let's put this furnace in the place. And now that it's in the place, Now we can dig. I think we have a just dig program, right? Yes, that's a simple dig that just digs. And now we need to place. I don't think we made a place program. We did make a place program. Oh, we need to tell it the slot number. So place from slot 1. Forwards, yes. Or front. Place slot 1, front. Done. Okay. So this is now a furnace. Aha! Nice, 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 nice. So, with that being a furnace, that is now in its place. So let's do a couple of things. So we need to, of course, as we already said, we need to, this is filling with kelp already, but we need to have this thing only drop kelp into the furnace if it has enough to make it efficient. So seeing as 1 block of kelp smelts 20 raw kelp, we need to wait, have this guy wait to drop his kelp until he actually it has enough. So edit, Kelp Farm simple. Okay, and we're gonna go down here. We're going to find where it says. So where's the overview of this? There's the code. Okay, so harvest is the first function, and then to storage is the second function. Basically, a function means that down here, when we actually call to storage, open bracket, close bracket, it will run everything that is written in the to storage section up here, which is right here. Right here indeed. Function to storage. Basically, it loops through every slot in the inventory and it selects it from the slot and then it drops upwards. Okay, a couple of things I'm finding here. One is that it will always end having selected the 16th slot, and it'll stay selected on the 16th slot. As you can see right there, it's already selected the 16th slot. So we'll need to fix that. Also, how do we add up what our goal is to have 20 kelp drop into the furnace all at once. That's our goal. And so what do we do in terms of trying to make that happen? Also, is the sun going down yet? Nope. Okay. Whoa! What happened here? How did... Okay, that bar of cobblestone is supposed to prevent this from happening. Okay, we have a giant tree. A giant tree indeed. We did have a hole in the cobblestone, but I didn't think that would cause an issue. But whoa, okay, apparently the tree just decided to grow above the cobblestone. What? Like, what in the world? What in the world is going on there? Okay, so we'll have plenty of wood. The question is how to get it. That's not going to be easy. But, okay, so if we go and edit this, so we'll need to have it select slot 1 at the end of dropping up. That's for sure. So it goes through and selects every slot, and then at the very end of it, it does turtle.select slot 1. Okay, so that's off to a good start. Listen, it says you want what gets dropped to be a multiple of 20. More than 20 should be fine. Oh, I didn't think of that. Yeah, I was thinking just greater than 20, but I suppose if it drops 22, then what's going to happen is it'll smelt 20 efficiently and then waste a whole lot for the last 2. So yeah, a multiple of 20. Okay, and do we bother... See, the only reason we would ever need to cycle through every slot is if this gets full, like too full kind of idea. Which is if it starts producing fast enough that it backlogs all 3 hoppers and then backlogs the turtle. So that's the only time in which it would we would ever need to deal with like emptying multiple slots. So I think what we might do, rather than trying to add up like there's 3 kelp in this slot, 2 kelp in that slot, 10 in that slot, and whatever, and trying to add them all up, why not just do it per slot? Because that seems to make sense. So yes, let's take, okay, so it takes the first slot. Then, before it drops up, we need an if statement to say if there's enough kelp. So if blah, 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 blah. Then turtle.drop up, and then we need to end the if statement down here. So end. There we are. Lupus590's says, I've seen trees grow through various man-made things, but this is ridiculous. That is, in fact, ridiculous. Yep. Very ridiculous. It didn't break the cobblestone, if that wasn't clear. I already had broken that piece of cobblestone, but I thought the other cobblestone beside it should have been, should have solved the issue. So, that is weird. That is weird indeed. That's going to take quite a while to recollect. Okay. Okay. So, let's go and figure out how to do this. Do you guys have any ideas? Lupus590's says, I would keep the turtle simple and have a computer managing the furnace with the hoppers feeding a chest. So that's one idea that I was thinking of doing, but it occurred to me as I was thinking about this, what's going on with the furnace? The furnace has 3 sides. The furnace has the top is the input, the bottom is the output, and this front side or the side or whatever is the fuel. And I was thinking about it, and in terms of we could just simply have like a hopper on the front, one on the bottom, and a turtle in between them, and not need to bother with modems or anything fancy because the top is only ever going to deal with raw kelp. Is that what it's called? It's called the kelp. But yeah, it's only going to ever deal with unharvested kelp, and the only use for that literally is to drop in the furnace. So we don't need to have it be dealt with any other program. So what I'm thinking is then have the output is dried kelp, and then the turtle crafts it, and then puts it back into the furnace over here as dried kelp blocks. So those 2 sides will need to be connected, but the top does not. So that's the idea. So if we can just have this guy deal with the top, and I think the easiest way to do it is if something, then drop up. So if we need, basically what we need to do is we need to have it take the slot here and check if there is more than 20 kelp. You know what? Maybe we should just do that for the sake of simplicity. Yeah, so if there's more than 20 kelp, then drop 20 kelp up, and we need to specify 20. Now I'm thinking what's going to happen then. You might say, well, what if there's like 30 kelp in there or something? And what's going to happen is it's going to, like, let's say there's 30 kelp in slot 2. It's going to go by there and drop 20 of them up, or no, 50. Let's say there's 50. It's going to drop 20 of them up, leave 30 in the slot, and move on to the next slot. And so it would sound like, well, what's going on there? But the idea is it would only ever get 30 if it's really, really backlogged. Or like 50, I mean, if it's really, really backlogged. And so the idea would be if it's that far backlogged, it doesn't actually produce that fast. So it should actually empty itself over time. So it does that cycle through. But then the next time that it mines the kelp, it's going to get a maximum of 5 if every single kelp has grown. So it's going to get a maximum of 5 in. So let's say, so it started at 50, it dropped it down to 30. Then the next time through, it gains 5, so it becomes 35. It drops another 20. So it's like gaining 5, dropping 20 every time, so it will clear itself out. So if it does clear itself out, then that should actually work very nicely. We don't have to worry about doing the whole multiple thing. We can just have it drop 20 if it finds more than 20. That's the idea. If that made any sense. Lupus590's says item count is a thing. You should also not fill the turtle that way. You could also have the turtle sleep longer if it fills its inventory. That's possible. That is extra complication, not necessarily necessary. I think. Let me see. What time do we have on it? What sleep time we had? Oh, there we go. os.sleep 10. Okay. All right, so that's good. So 10 seconds, that should be long enough. I don't think we need to mess with the sleep necessarily, because that would be extra complication. So, okay, so if then. So, if something, then turtle.drop up. So what we want to do is if, what is the command? I can't remember. Let's go to the Lua command prompt and see what we get. Lua command prompt, turtle dot, we have attack, we have back, compare, detect, drop, equip left, forward, a bunch of them. Oh, okay, turtle.get item count. Let's say slot 1, 0. What if we put sand? 25. Okay, 25. What if we put these buckets? 4. Okay, so it just simply returns a number. So turtle.get item count, that's all we need. Lupus590's might get inefficient with fuel if the hoppers back stuff. I don't think so, because by the time it smelts one item, hoppers are a lot faster than smelting. So if the hoppers are backlogged and they're full of raw kelp, and it starts trying to smelt, it smelts one item, it's going to keep filling in the extra items in the top of the furnace, in the input, before it finishes using up the entire block of kelp. So I don't think we have an issue there. We'll have to see. Exit. Okay, and then edit. Kelp Farm simple, and I think it's, ooh, it's nighttime. Okay, I almost walked in the lava. That is not ideal. Not ideal at all. Okay, so here's the plan. Here's the plan. First, scout around the building just to check for creepers. Second, use turtle.get item count. Turtle.get item count. I wonder if the mob count, if it's just that we're sleeping so quickly, or if the mob count has reduced now that we have more spawning area in that spawner there. That's quite possible. Quite possible indeed. Alright, so let's see. So, turtle.get item details. So, if we need to simply check if turtle.get item detail is greater than 20. So, select the slot to start with. Then, if here, if turtle.get item detail, open bracket, close bracket. I think you don't need to put that in any kind of square brackets or anything, if I'm not mistaken. So if turtle.get item detail is greater than 20, nope, not detail, sorry, it's count, turtle.get item count, and I don't think it autofills for some reason here. If turtle.get item count, okay, is greater than 20, then now I want to find out if that's the right command, if we did it properly. So let's just let's actually add a print line first. So print. Here's the thing: this types into the shell, like into the shell thing that you read there. It types in there so that you can read it more easily. So if that made any sense, print. What is it? Print, and we're gonna print found. Oh. No, never mind. This, because we need to actually put it as a variable, which is an extra line, which I'm not going to bother with right now. So let's just forget about that. Let's just go and, so it drops up. Can you drop up a certain amount? So if you have more items than 20, then drop up, how many, like, drop up 20, I guess? Let me see. We need to look up the ComputerCraft wiki and see how this command works exactly. So, ComputerCraft wiki on turtle.drop up. I think this is what we have to do here. So, turtle dot attack, I guess. Let's find if we can get through from there to the, there we go, turtle API. Let's find the whole turtle dot. Drop up is down under D. Drop up. Aha, there we go. All right. Ah, it does take a number. Okay, so turtle dot drop up, and it takes the number to drop, I think, right? Yes, looks like it. That is good. That is good indeed. All right. So now this theoretically should, if it finds more than 20 items in the slot, it should drop the items upwards. That's the idea. So what I'm going to do, and it should drop only 20 of them. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put 64 cobblestone in slot 2, and we're going to see, because I don't think you can smelt cobblestone, so it shouldn't, actually the furnace doesn't have any fuel yet anyway, so never mind. But let's just go and restart the turtle. Let's have him run his program, and what should happen here is it should drop 20 cobblestone and end with 44 cobblestone here. That's the idea. So let's see. Restart. So it's breaking the kelp. Picking up the kelp. That is excellent. Excellent. Oh, it did it. Okay. And let's actually just move these into this slot here, because now it's ending on slot 1 every time. All right, so it dropped 20 cobblestone, left it with 44. That's great. Now, when it gets down to 4, it should not drop it, theoretically. That's the idea, at least. Let's, actually, we need the flint and steel, just in case. But if we get rid of that, if we head over here, and yes, there's, nope, not that. Kelp. We need kelp. We need, where do we get the kelp? We need, here. Okay, so let's grab this. Let's actually just grab one of those. We just need to trigger it to mine again, and then drop the items. And we'll see what happens here. So let's put the kelp down here. This is, and it's gonna detect here, I think. Okay, let's see. It should mine that. And we'll have to see if it drops the items and get it all the way down to 4, and then it should not drop them. Oh. Well, apparently it turns first and then detects. Is that the way that works? I can't remember how I programmed this thing. Okay, so let's grab another kelp here. Let's grab a kelp, and then let's put it down here where it's going to turn to momentarily. There, so it should detect the kelp there now. And it should do its thing, and should harvest them. Aha, yes. Okay, so it turns first and then harvests. That's how we did it. And aha, so as you can see, it looks like the proof of concept is working, because it dropped another 20 cobblestone. So now we're 40, basically, in the hopper there. And we're at 24 left, and there's 4 kelp that stayed in the inventory there. Now, I want to find out if that's gonna hold true in another slot other than slot 1, just in case we added any peculiarities for that. So let's just grab that, and let's go and place it over here. There we go. So this should leave 4 cobblestone in the slot, and that would be ideal. Ideal if it works. It did some mining. It started mining, and oh, okay, it just dropped the cobblestone. Nice. It's left with 4. Now, if we run it again, it shouldn't. It shouldn't mess up. We'll have to see. So I have a second kelp already. Whoops. Okay, we're kind of stuck. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this time it should mine. It should spin around, check all the other places as well. And aha! So it hasn't dropped any kelp yet, and it kept the 4 cobblestone. That is great. So we now have a working kelp farm that will drop 20 at a time up above, which is great. Let's take our cobblestone back, and we're good to go from there. Good to go from there indeed. So here's our furnace. Oh, it already has 4 kelp in it. Let's take that out. That was from earlier, if I'm not mistaken. So here's the extra kelp. There we go. Okay. So now that we have the input set and ready to go, that is excellent. So now what we can do now is we can start automating the output of the furnace. So that would be even better. So we're going to need the turtle to be able to interface with the furnace very easily. And in order to do that, it's going to need to be able to connect to the one side and the other side. And the sides being probably either the front or the side and the bottom. So, now hoppers, I think they stop water from flowing through, right? Unless they changed that. So if we make, we're going to need 2 hoppers. We're going to need to check on our mining turtles first, but we're going to need 2 hoppers. We're going to need, that should be good. That should be good. So let's see. The amount of customizability in this mod is ridiculous. It's like, okay, that is very, very useful. Very, very useful indeed. The ability to just say, yeah, to make it more fuel efficient, just don't send items until you're ready and all that. Okay, so this guy has plenty of storage space still. What about this guy? He has, yeah, oh, okay, this is getting really, really hot. Yeah, okay, it's, I think I'm not even, I think the fan is more pointing at me than it is at the computer, which is a bit of an issue. So, sorry about the lag. I think it's pointing at the computer fine, though. Maybe it's not. Hang on. Let me just do this. Try to fix where the fan's pointing if I can. And there we are. That should cool it down a little more, I think. Possibly. We'll have to see. But okay. Where's... Oh, wait, they're right there? Okay, they're right there, and we're not in any position to fight them right now. So, goodbye. That's my cue to get out of here. Let's leave the premises as quickly as possible. Okay, so we already need a whole lot more kelp to eat. We're gonna need... What are we gonna need here? We're gonna need hoppers. We're gonna need 2 hoppers. This tree still has not grown. This tree has grown, and this tree has grown very, 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 very tall. Yeah, this is not going to be easy. Okay, you know what? We'll just mine up the lower half of this, and then we'll just go and mine the upper half later if we happen to get around to it. So that sounds like an idea. So tree, chop, simple, version 1. All right. All right, this is looking good. On his way up, he's going to mine the entire area, get a whole bunch of wood for us. Very, very nice, very helpful. Slideshow as well. Actually, I should check. Are you guys, like, hearing me just fine and all that? It looks like the webcam's not lagging, just the game. So that's good. Let me see, OBS. I think... Yeah, it looks like we're pretty much okay in terms of lag on OBS. That seems to be the case. So, that's great. Go back. And we now have 7 wood. 7 wood, very nice. And that is enough to make a lot more chests. So let's start with that. Let's head over here and make a chest and make a hopper. We're gonna need 2 hoppers. So let's turn these planks like that, chests, yep, typical stuff indeed. And now we can stuff the chests, oh, not into the crafting table, we can stuff the chests into iron to turn them into hoppers. Now the iron is all back at the other house over here in the other section of our base. I thought that was a mob. It's actually just a cactus in a plant pot. Do you guys know how this works? How do you get the thing into the plant pot like that? That looks interesting. I guess it's just you right click on it and it just makes a miniature version or something, or is there like a fancy way to do it? Okay, over here, and there we go. There we have it. Lupus590's says just the game is a slideshow. The slideshow presenter looks fine. All right, well, I'm glad to hear that that the presenter himself looks fine. So, sorry about the ridiculously slow thing here. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a priority to get the PC fixed, because it does not have thermal issues, like, ever. So, that is excellent. Excellent indeed. Now, what are we doing here? We are getting, 10 iron. That's what we're doing. 1, 2, 3. This is 10. Make a hopper. 2 hoppers, actually. There we are. This is that. And we have 2 chests left over for various things that we want to do with 2 chests. Is this still running? Oh, I thought it was still running. It's the campfire outside. Or maybe it's the torch. Might have been the torch. But we have 16 more gold, which is very nice. 64 more iron. And another 37 iron. So we got loads of materials. Loads of materials indeed. So we'll be able to do lots of things. Lots of things. All right. So let's head back over here, and let's see if we can finish this and see how complicated this proves to be, because this seems relatively easy, but you never know till you actually try. Because some programs that seem easy are hard, and some that seem hard are easy, and I left the turtle over here. Oh, there's an end. Should we fight the ender? He's gone. Never mind. Never mind. I think he's still there, actually. Nope. Now he's gone. He's even more gone than... Oh, no, he's right there. Should we fight the... Let's fight the enderman. Let's fight the enderman with 2 FPS. Or 10. That sounds like a not necessarily smart idea, but we're underneath a tree. He shouldn't be able to hit us under the tree, which is good. He should get stuck on the turtle on the way over. Okay, explain how that works. I need to head out from under here so that he starts following. Come on, sir. Come over here, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Come within range. Thank you. Okay. Closer, please. We need an ender pearl because ender pearls are needed to get to the end, and also needed in order to make modems and things for the computers. So if you can come over here, sir. Also, a crafty turtle, I think, doesn't need diamonds, right? It just needs a crafting table. So that is going to be good. That's what we're going to need for this next project. So, ooh, ender pearl. Ender pearl. Ooh, okay. You know what? Let's actually save this thing. Let's bring it back to the house, save this thing, because they are very, very valuable. They're one of the most valuable materials on this game at this time. So, there we are. This would be a fourth ender pearl. Nice. Nice indeed. Alright. Now we put the hoppers down, and then prepare the turtle. That's the next order of business, and I forgot the turtle over there. Well, that's the thing. Lupus590's game be like, AI pathfinding? I ain't got time for that. Yeah, that's a good point. That is apparently what the game was thinking there. Actually, you know what? It might not have time for that, come to think of it, because if it's just trying to slowly move along, I don't know if it does anything fancy in terms of how it prioritizes what it does, or if it just slows everything down. But perhaps it did actually reduce the pathfinding. Is that even possible? Not entirely sure. Not entirely sure. But there's the sapling. That's great. Now, we'll see what that does growing underneath that tree over there. But let's do this. Let's put the hoppers in here, and then get the crafty turtle set up, and then we should be good to go. Now, here's the idea. Here's the idea. If we start by digging, but if dig, the hopper is the thing that will actually point in a direction. So if we have not this turtle, but if we have another turtle right exactly there, the hopper here Well, because you have to, in order to take out of the furnace, you need to actually take it out from below. And in order to put it back in, you need to put it back in from the side, in terms of as fuel. But if you put a turtle down below, then to try to get it up into the side is not going to be easy without the use of modems and complications and all that kind of stuff. So what we're going to have to do is we're basically going to have to take this and put the turtle right exactly here, put a hopper beside the furnace, and so the turtle will drop up into the hopper will push into the furnace. And then down in the front, the turtle, the hopper will pull out of the furnace, but it won't push into the turtle. The turtle itself will actually pull it out of the hopper in the front. So this could be a chest below, except that it needs to actually pull it out of the furnace for us. So that's the idea, if that makes any sense. I don't know if there's a better way to do that, but this is kind of my way I'm thinking of. And I think I want to put this on the side, because that just looks better. And losing the display again. There we go. Okay, so yeah, let's go over here. So turtle. Nope. Go. Right. Forward. Okay. We're gonna want to put the turtle right there. Then we can leave this space open for other things, and also we can see the front of the furnace. We can see when it's on more easily, which is good. So go up and then left. Okay. And then dig. I think we have a dig program that just digs just like that. There we go. There we go. Okay, so now we can put the hopper down here. Oops. Okay, here we go. Here we go. There's hoppers there. There's a hopper here now. That's even better. Okay. So this turtle's still set. We didn't knock down the wall for the water. And we're good to go. We can now put another turtle right there. Let's pick this guy up. Let's go get another turtle ready. Make a turtle, actually. And make a crafty turtle, to be specific. I'm not sure why I have to keep breaking the turtles twice. And every other block once. Well, that was 3 times, apparently. There we go. I explained that. Explained that, indeed. But that's that. So, where's the turtle? Where is the turtle? We don't have it yet. That is where it is. So if we create one, should we bother creating an advanced turtle just for this? Depends how much gold we have, actually. We have currently got 23 gold, so that's not a whole lot. Let's make a basic turtle, an iron turtle. So let's say turtle. Okay. So the basic turtle is here. Or should we make the advanced turtle? I don't know. I think we're gonna need, this is gonna be a stationary thing. We're gonna keep the advanced turtle, I think, for more unstationary things. So let's see, what's the recipe on the turtle itself? 7 iron, a computer, and a chest. We have a chest, which is great. We need 7 iron, so that's 7, and we need a computer. And the computer is made by what? By... I forget. It's got glass in there somewhere. A glass pane, redstone, and some sort of stone. Okay, so we need some stone. We should have some stone already. There's some stone. So 7 stone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we need a glass pane, a singular glass pane, and a singular piece of redstone. And that is the redstone. That is excellent. Okay, so now we can do this. We can do this. We can 3 clicks away. That is the computer. That is the turtle. That is that. Now we, of course, need to make this into a crafty turtle, which, if I'm not mistaken, you just simply do like that. Grab the crafting table, put the crafting table beside the turtle, and it makes it a crafty turtle. Nice indeed. Alright, now I just reset my spawn point by accident because of the lag. Meant to close the door. But that is besides the point. So, actually, that was besides the door. It was besides the door. It was the bed there besides the door. So, okay, we'll need to break this. Turtle dot, nope. Let's just say dig, because we have a dig program already. Okay. That's the dig. And now the Crafty Turtle can go here. There. All right. All right. So, we have all the infrastructure set up. Ready to go. And of course we have to break the turtle twice because of lag. There we go. Okay. What I wonder is when it lags like that and you have to break it twice, does your tool, if you use a tool, does it take twice the durability off of it? Or not? That's an interesting question. Interesting question from a programming of Minecraft perspective. Okay, so, yes, we have the raw kelp will be coming in here. How much raw kelp do we have in the turtle so far? We have 14. So it should be coming fairly soon. And then it comes out here, it gets smelted and turns into dried kelp. Let's actually put some of our dried kelp down there. So let's see what we have. We should have a fair amount of extra. Yeah, so there's some dried kelp. Let's actually get another kelp block and let's smelt the rest of our dried kelp that we have in here. Smelt the dried kelp. There we go. That makes no sense. We need to smelt the non-dried kelp to make it dried. There we go. Okay, so here we are. We now have some extra dried kelp. So let's take this guy. Let's set this up as how he's going to be handling things. So down here, item hopper. We're going to take this, and I do not know how to use a crafty turtle. That's the other question. So we'll take 9 of these. That's 8. So if we just take this like that, there we go, that's 9. And this would be good. So, how do we make this work? You basically have to lay it out inside the turtle. Not entirely sure how to do that. So let's see directory. Okay, edit. And let's call this thing craft dried kelp block. Haha. Done. Okay, so we're editing this program. So here is the idea. Basically, we're going to have to pick this up. So let's do... Can you, when you do the whole turtle.suck function, can you have it suck only one item? Is that possible? That may be possible. Let's try to make this as simple as we can, because we've gone with the complication route with the mob farm thing. So this is kind of a nice break doing a simple one. Oh, ComputerCraft wiki. Okay. Oh, looks like you can suck the number, the amount. That is great. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to put this over here so I can see it. Yeah, okay. So I think we should be able to see, I understand the old wiki better. Like, it makes more sense. So the old wiki says for turtle.suck down here, it has square brackets. It says number amount. So it's like, oh, okay, the number, the amount. And then this new wiki says square brackets limit equals 64. It doesn't say limit of what, unless it says buried in here somewhere. But that's the first thing you want to know is what is this value you're putting in, and it just says limit equals 64. Now, we happen to know from the other wiki that it's the limit of the number of items that it picks up. But I don't know, I find it a lot more difficult to read. Oh, it says down here. Oh, okay. Yeah, down here on the new wiki it says number equals 64, the maximum number of crafting steps to run. Oh, wait, that's the craft thing? Hang on. I'm looking at two different commands. That's the craft command. Okay, never mind. Never mind. So what is this? The turtle's inventory. Craft a recipe based on the turtle's inventory. The turtle's inventory should be set up like a crafting grid. For instance, to craft sticks, slots 1 and 5 should contain sticks. All other slots should be empty, including those outside the crafting grid. Okay. Okay, so basically, here's how the crafting turtle works. Basically, you want here, if you're trying to automatically craft things, you need to sleep through the night first so that you don't get creepers spawning. That's very much essential. And then we'll demonstrate how that works. But, oh, and I just lost the light again. And now it's back. Okay, come on. Come on, this lag makes sleeping take so long. Lupus590's says the wikis are written by humans. Tweak.cc is written by a robot. Oh, tweak.cc/module/turtle. Oh, so that's not technically a wiki. Is written by a robot that is transcribing stuff that humans wrote in the source code. Oh, that could be why it's a little more difficult to read. But I'd imagine it's a lot easier to make the wiki or the tweaked.cc thing there. That's nice. And did I just hear a creeper? Nope, heard the lava. That's fine. Lava is fine. We love a lot of lava. We love a lot of lava if the turtles, if the creepers are not there. That's good. Okay, so here's the idea. Here's what happens here is this thing, this is basically a crafting grid. So you see a 3x3 crafting grid here. And then it will basically put the output, if I'm not mistaken, down in the bottom corner. So what we should be able to do is we're going to have to... Oh, I see. So limit 64, that is actually the limit of how many crafts it can do because the output can only be a stack of 64. That's my guess. Okay, that makes sense. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to take them one at a time. That's the idea. So take them one at a time. Now, there's two things we're going to have to deal with. It's going to have to pick up all of the dried kelp out of here. Lupus590 says, much easier to make tweaked.cc. The robot complains at you if you don't explain things to it so that it can write the docs. Yeah, that's true. That is good, actually. There would be probably a lot more help articles on tweaked.cc just because it's easier to write because it's robots. That makes sense. Makes sense indeed. So, yeah, so here's the thing. It's going to need to pick up whatever it finds in here. I think the number of items is going to give us a lot of trouble. Because... Or is it? Oh, it actually only needs to pick up what it needs to put back in the smelter. I was thinking it needed to pick up every piece of dried kelp. But no, it does not need to pick up every piece of dried kelp. Lupus590 says limit equals 64 means that limit is the name of the argument and 64 is the default value of it. Okay. Okay, yeah, I was thinking it would need to pick up everything, but it doesn't need to pick up every piece of dried kelp. It probably will, but it doesn't need to do anything with the stuff that has already been smelted that isn't going back in as fuel. So all it needs to do is it needs to take the fuel out of there. It needs to take enough for fuel. It needs to craft them. And it needs to send them up in here so that they actually get into the furnace. Now, here's an issue that we're going to have, is we're going to have the issue where until this thing is full of fuel, which will take a long time, very long time to fill this with fuel. But until it's filled with fuel, we're not going to have basically any dried kelp available to us, which is not ideal. Not ideal. Now, we're going to try to triple speed this thing if we can, but it's still not going to be easy. Now, I wonder. Lupus590's says there are no help articles on the tweaked.cc. It's one of its downsides. Tweaked.cc only documents functions, and such help articles can go into a lot more detail on how to use things in specific situations and such. Yeah, that would be why I like the old ComputerCraft.info/wiki. I like that site a lot better. It gives you a lot of guides and help articles and things. It's very, very neat. Very, very neat indeed. Okay, so the issue is that until this fills up, which will take ages, it won't... We basically will not have any dried kelp available. Or will we? Let's just think about if it's... I don't know. I don't think we will. So if we have it maybe divide... Oh, here's an idea. If we have it divide the kelp, and if it takes like every second one or something, and takes like every second one and sends them up, and then takes the rest and sends them down into a chest, that might be an idea. Lupus590 says you're on cc.info. Technically, ComputerCraft. It spells it all out. ComputerCraft.info/wiki. That's where I've been going. Because of the wiki there is very, very helpful. You say that's very out of date. Is there a newer site that has more of a wiki-style explanation type thing that I'm not familiar with? Or Lupus590 says, but yeah, readability is something that Squid Dev wants to improve on tweaked.cc. Yeah, well, that's why I keep going back to ComputerCraft.info. But yeah, that's definitely a thing. Okay, so I'm just trying to figure out what to do with this whole thing, because obviously we have 9 dried kelp down there. Do we have the kelp in the furnace yet? Nope, we're still waiting on it to come. Yeah, so how many slots will it take to fill this thing, actually? Come to think of it. It will take in here, it'll take 1 stack of dried kelp blocks there. It'll take 4 more stacks here. And so that's 5 more stacks. So that's 6 stacks of dried kelp blocks. So how many kelp would that be? Let's do some quick math. 6 stacks times the 64 in a stack. That's blocks. Then times 9 kelp in a block. 3,400 kelp. How many stacks is that of regular kelp? So divided by 64. 54 stacks of regular kelp. It will take forever to fill this up. So, what if we take another strategy, and if we fill in this with cobblestone? We won't have quite as big a buffer of fuel, but hopefully it would be good. This way, because cobblestone, we can put cobblestone in here because it will not make its way into the furnace, which is good. So this leaves us with 1 stack of dried kelp blocks there, 1 stack of dried kelp blocks there. So that's great. What does that leave us with then? Lupus590 says there's wiki.computercraft.cc/main page, but it's also out of date and was never as complete as... Now, when you say cc.info, do you mean computercraft.info? I'm assuming. Because cc.info I don't think is technically a website address. I don't think. But was never as complete as the info one was at one point in history. Okay. That is good to know. So, yes, so if we have 2 stacks instead, 2 stacks times 64 in a stack times 9 dried kelp per block. This is how many dried kelp, so divided by how many dried kelp in a stack. So at the moment it would be 18 stacks of dried kelp. 18 stacks of dried kelp would have to come through this thing before it fills itself up, which is a bit of an issue. A bit of an issue given the simple fact that apparently I need more sleep and can't hold a thought and follow a thought through. Okay, but there's a simple fact that this, I do not remember at all what I was going to say. Okay, that's the thing. That is the thing. Lupus590's says ComputerCraft.info. Yes, I'm lazy. Okay, well, I mean, it does take a long time to type all that in. That is for sure. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember what I was saying. So, okay, so we're gonna basically have to divide this somehow. We're gonna have to, redstone pulses. Here's an idea. Rather than trying to set up a whole chest underneath the turtle or beside or whatever, what if we have the hopper going into a chest and have the turtle do a redstone pulse kind of thing on the hopper to let an item out into the chest and then pick up an item itself? That sounds like an interesting idea. But I don't know, we can't really measure the redstone pulses as to whether it's actually moved something. I think you need to actually use a comparator. Can a turtle act as a comparator to detect the hopper? Or how? I'm confused. Very confused, very confused. So, also curious. 17, we're up to 17 on that. So that's great. We'll get our first batch coming in here shortly. Okay. Well, what if we... Okay, here's another idea that won't work, but it might work. It might give us another angle on the problem that might help. If it waits till there's 20 dried kelp down there, like if it picks up 20 dried kelp and puts them all in maybe slot 4 here, like maybe one of these slots over here, and then it takes 9 of them and crafts 9 of them into... Can you transfer items between slots in the turtle's own inventory? I'm hoping you can. But if it then crafts 9 of them into a block, crafts the block, drops the block above it, up here, and then drops the remainder of the 20 down below. That theoretically should work. But then what happens when one or the other side gets backlogged? That's the other question. Actually, that is very much a question, because if the top gets backlogged with fuel, which it should, I think, then basically what happens is it will stop outputting items below because the fuel is backlogged and it's going for an exact count number of items. So that's an issue. But then what if the chest below gets backlogged? Which is more likely to happen because you keep outputting to there and you keep burning the fuel. And you output more down below than you burn with fuel. So what would happen then if it backlogs the chest below and then it stops crafting any more fuel because the chest below is backlogged? So that's not ideal either. That's very much not ideal. So, I'm very much confused. Very much confused indeed as to what might work. I can't seem to think of it. I think the only real way to do this, Lupus590 says, this is why I would use modems and chests, much easier to manage backlogging and maintain efficiency. I'm not sure I understand how to do it, though. That's the issue. But here's another idea. Let's just check the recipes for dried kelp. Let's see. So here's usages for dried kelp. You can make a dried kelp block. The usages for dried kelp block. Oh, actually, never mind. This solves all our problems. Dried kelp block you can put in the furnace, and apparently you can craft a dried kelp. I didn't know you could do this. You can reverse craft a dried kelp block back into dried kelp, which means that why would we not just craft all of the dried kelp into dried kelp blocks That would actually save space in our own inventory as well. We could bring more food with us. Okay, so we don't even need this cobblestone down here. That's great. So we can just simply fill up this whole thing with dried kelp blocks. That's looking good. Looking good indeed. So we have efficiency, fuel efficiency going into it. That's nice. Fuel efficiency going into the furnace, so it won't waste any fuel. All this stuff down here will get crafted into blocks, get sent into the hopper, into the furnace. We have pre-crafted kelp for us, which is very nice. A nice bonus luxury kind of deal. And then we can then head from there and just simply drop in here, grab a few dried kelp blocks. We'll be good to go. That is looking good. Okay, so that solves all of our efficiency and math and complication issues. So let's just start programming and getting it to actually craft the thing. That's the idea. Lupus590's says you have two options. Either use the methods directly or use my item pipe module. Those are different options. I think I'm going to try it this way. I think that's probably a message you were typing before I solved it, is my theory. So we'll try it this way. Let's try setting this up to craft. All right. That would keep within the theme of keeping this a very, very simple program. So we have kelp. So let's start taking it. So if we go ahead and start here, let's say we need to, I think we can just do this all in one script. We don't need multiple functions and things, but we'll find out as we find that it gets more complicated. So turtle.suck from the inventory in front of it and suck one item in particular. That's the idea. We need to cycle through various inventory slots. That's the other issue. And we'll need to specifically cycle between slots. We can't do a simple for loop that cycles through all 16. We need to cycle through slots 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11. That is what we really need to do. So that's not going to be easy. Or is it? Because there's multiple ways we could do this. We could have it actually... We could have it say, okay, cycle through all 16, and then if the slot number is one of these 9, and then we have to list all the 9, then pick up the item. That's one way to do it. That might actually work. I don't know if there's a more... There probably is a more efficient way to do it, but we'll see. So, for, and let's cycle through all the slots. So for I, so let's set I to 1, and then it will cycle through all the way up to 16. Actually, we don't even need to do all the way to 16, but we might as well. Do. All right, and down here, then we have, let's add an end at the end of it. All right, end. Okay. So this is for I equals 1 to 16, do, and we're going to need to, oh, that's the number of items. So do this. So if we find, if the slot number is equal to, oh, we'll say, oh, and I forgot I equals. We need I is equal to. So for I is equal to 1 to 16, do, and we're going to set down here the, it's going to say if I, because I would be the slot number, it would be the iteration of this loop, if I is equal to 1. Oh, I think you have to type this, you can't just type 1 or 2 or 3. I think you have to type it like, we need it in brackets like this. This actually could be quite a long line to type. There might be a more efficient way to do this. But if I is equal to 1, or, and then brackets again, I is equal to 2. Yeah, there's got to be an easier way. Or I is equal to 3. Or, oh, forgot the thing. Oh, Lupus says, oh, basically, okay, so define a table of the slots you want to use. And then for that, is that a blank, like an underscore? What does that mean? For underscore v in I pairs slots? What is I pairs? Do turtle.select v. I think you've explained I pairs to me before, but I can't remember what it was. From my own compactor script. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I think this is a very, very, very long. It's a very English readable way of doing it this way. It's also very, very long. That is for sure. Yeah, I'm not sure I understand that. There's I'm trying to think whether that's simpler or more complicated. It's a shorter line what you have there, but there's a lot of programming concepts that need to be understood in order to understand that. So or I is equal to 5, but I can see how doing a table thing might actually, it would definitely make it a little easier. Or I is equal to 6, or I is, oops, need this thing. I is equal to 7. Le says underscore is a valid variable name. But where did the underscore come from? That's what I don't understand. So underscore is a valid variable name, but it's used as a convention for discarding a variable that we had to accept to get what we want. Oh, you have a... Oh, I think I sort of understand what's going on there. So you have a for loop. Instead of what I said you said underscore. And then I don't know what v is. It seems to be underscore comma v. So that's that. And then there's in I pairs, which I don't remember what that is. I think if we can even just like start to understand that whole concept better, that would be a little that would be good. 4, 5, 6, 7. Or so I'll keep typing this in, but if we can sort of if you can sort of get me to understand what is going on in that line that you wrote there, then that would make a little more sense. Then we could maybe use that in the future. Livre says I pairs makes an iterator from a table. The in keyword goes through the iterator. What's an iterator? That goes through... I think that's a word I don't know. It sounds like an English thing. It doesn't sound like a programming thing. Lupin says V is like I. Oh, iterator would go through iterations. So like it would cycle through every iteration of the thing. So like in this case, it would be slots, but in that case, it would be the numbers in your table. Oh, okay. V is like I have to values looping because I'm looking at the table. Okay, so you have a table with all the slot numbers in it. Then you have a loop. You have 4 underscore, so underscore instead of where I'm using I. And then you have V, so that would be the ending of the iterator. So where was V defined? That's what I don't understand. But then, so then in I pairs, and I pairs goes through the slots. I pairs basically you said it does what it does. It's an makes an iterator from a table. So an iterator, so it can Wait, so iPairs makes an iterator? So you mean iPairs does like the for loop does? But so then why is the iterator of iPairs within the for loop? I think some of this might be obvious, but I just seem to be apparently not all here today or something. Okay, local t equals. Oh, okay. So here's another example. T equals. So t is a variable. T equals, and there's a table of hello and world for key, comma, value in pairs. What's key? Value in pairs of t do. So why is it in pairs? Does it like group them together? Group the different values together in sets of two or something? Or hmm, I'm a little bit confused. Little bit confused. It's starting to make a little more sense though. I think the whole iPairs thing is starting to make some sense. Let me know you guys if you guys are watching as well, if it's making sense to you guys as well, or not, or what. Okay, Lupus590's says, um, yeah, so underscore and V are both like I, but the question is where is V defined? That's what I don't understand. Because V, you have to have some number as the last number. Wait, no, V is the starting number. Because you, but there's no equals in your in your for loop. Don't you need an equals? Maybe you don't need an equals. Oh, is it? Hang on. So for underscore V, for underscore comma V, so underscore and V are two different variables in iPairs on the slot list. So two different variables. So actually, is it the iPairs that actually sets the iteration loop? You know what? If you guys are getting confused, actually, if you guys are understanding this better than me, let me know, because I think I'm just being a little bit clueless right now. Lupus590 says an iterator in programming is a function that loops through a construct, in this case, the table. Okay, loops through the construct, so it basically checks every entry in it, if I'm not mistaken. So underscore and V are both like I, in that they are defined and set by the loop. The loop of what? The for or the iPairs? Is iPairs a loop? Lupus590 says iPairs makes a function that can be called many times. The in keyword takes a function that it called every loop. I've totally missed that. In behaves like equals. Oh, in behaves like equals. So when you say for, you have two variables, and then you say in, so the in equals. But wait, when I type a for loop, like when I go over here and type a for loop, I have for, so I have the I, then I have the equals, then I have two values that I sometimes use as variables, or like put variables in there. But the equals in the script that you had two variables first. So there's I, essentially, there's I and something else, and then the in, which is like equals, and then iPairs slots. So it's like it moves the equals down a stage. iPairs is not a loop. Okay, so for is a loop. Okay. Also, is it nighttime? Need to, we don't want a creeper blowing this up, that's for sure. That is for sure indeed. Okay. Pairs and iPairs go through a table in key and value pairs. What's key and value? I'm confused. Okay, so they go through a table in key and value pairs. So, in the simple example it gave, key... Oh, you're talking about the example where you have a table that says hello and world for... So then you have a for loop and says key and value, or so they're two different variables in pairs. Okay, and then pairs and iPairs go through a table in key and value pairs. I thought they're variables. So I thought pairs open bracket t close bracket. I thought that's the pairs, and then the key and value are variables. But it sounds like the key and value are pairs. I'm sorry if I'm just not like totally not getting this. I'm not entirely sure. So in like certain aspects of it are making more sense, but I think there's a whole bunch of aspects that aren't making sense still to me. So, but certain aspects are making more sense. So pairs and iPairs go through the table, go through a table in key and value pairs. Oh, key. I think I should read the rest of your message. Hang on, I think you say this later. Key and value. I should. Yeah. Okay. Key and value pairs. So in the simple example I gave, key is 1. And value is hello. Okay, so, wait. Then on the next loop, key is 2 and value is world. Okay, so the key, there's no third loop, and the iterator sets key and value to nil, and that ends the loop. Oh, so key is, so when you have it, what a table is, if you guys don't know what a table is, which kind of we need to say before this, a table is basically a list of values. Sort of think of it like a shopping list, okay? So you have a shopping list, and you have the values on the shopping list are you need to get bread, you need to get juice, you need to get pumpkins, you need to get, I don't know, whatever else. So the values are the different things. And then the key is what position on the list it is. So you have your first item, your second item, your third item. So the key is what number of item it is. What item on the list. So that's your key. Your value is what the value is at that place, I think, if I understand that correctly. So I still don't know why it's called pairs, because that seems to say it's grouping them in sets of 2, which it doesn't appear to be. But if you have a table with a whole bunch of items in it, then what happens is you get your iteration, not your iteration, your key, your where it is in the table as one value, and then you get the value that's in that location as another value, all within the table. And when you type it in, so with that understood, now we take, okay, Lupus590's says, iPairs is not a loop, okay? Think iPairs as a magical function that makes a table into a representation that in understands. So what's in? Just run the example I gave a while ago. Well, I know what it'll output, I think. Well, we can try that. But I know what it'll output, but I think. But we don't, I don't know what it's doing, how it works. That's the thing. So if we say here, let's edit test. Okay. Oh, actually it's not too bad. I just noticed we're getting a fair amount of frame rate lag, but it's not terrible. Or is it? Hang on. Looks like we might be getting okay, about 8% dropped frames. 11%. 12%. This is not good. Well, what if I reduce... What if I reduce the render distance down a whole lot? Wait, what's biome blend? Okay, let's keep the render distance at 6. Biome blend should be off. Fastest. There we go. That might give us a little extra. Let's turn the render distance down anyway. And that should be good. And we're still lagging a lot. So hopefully we're okay. Oh, I think we got a little faster frame rate. Nope, not really. Not really. Never mind. Never mind. Okay, so hopefully it's somewhat okay. And we'll try to keep figuring this out. Okay. Or try this one. Okay, so we're going to try this one. So this is the test program. Try this one. Local variable. So this is the variable. T is the variable. T is equal to, use the squiggly brackets to get a table. First equals 1. Second equals 2. Let's try typing this properly. 2. Okay, so that's all within the local thing. Then we need a new line. And then we have 4 key and value in pairs T do. So this should, actually that's not the end of it. Hang on. Do what? Do print key value. Aha. Oh, and I forgot the brackets there. Okay, hang on. Hang on. Okay, so this, and then end. Yes, we need to indent this so we can read it more clearly. Done. Okay, so what this should do, Lupus590's says, you could also call the key an index or field of the table, with value being the contents of that key / index / field. The key and value can be seen as pairs. Oh, the pairs is not 2 items on the grocery list. It's the pair of pairing up the position on the grocery list with the item. The position is a value, the item is a value, and pairing those two things together, not pairing 2 different entries together. That seems to make more sense. The key and value can be seen as pairs. Sometimes the key is the interesting thing in the table, and the value might just be true. People make lookup tables this way. I'll look for an example of one. Here's an example of a lookup table. Notice that all the values are true. The key is the interesting data here. Okay, let's see. Unfortunately, I can't show this on camera because it's multiple computers, and that's not the easiest thing to connect. Okay, so there's a table. Oh yeah, they're all set to true. And, so the key, wait. I thought the key had to be a numerical value. I'm confused. I'm very confused. So the key doesn't have to be a numerical value. The key can be square brackets, Minecraft : cobblestone. And that can be a key. So I guess it's pairs or iPairs that gives it a numerical value, I think. Let's see. Let's run test. Oh, let's try actually adding all the brackets we're supposed to have and then run test. That sounds like a better idea. Where do we have... Where are we missing one? We're missing one somewhere. I don't see... I don't see anything that we're missing. Wait. Oh, that's supposed to be a squiggly bracket. There we go. Nope, there we go. Squiggly bracket, that would be good. Lupus590's says, nope, tables can have string keys. The one you have written has string keys too. iPairs only does the numeric keys and does them in order. So what's the point in having a string key? Because I would think that the key is so that you can iterate through the table, right? So how does a string key help? Because you can't put that in any sort of iterator going around. So I'm not entirely sure. Test. Okay, so this one, yeah, so I don't understand why it's doing this, but this one printed the key is second, what'd you say, value? Yeah, value is 2, and key is first, value is 1. Not sure why it went backwards. Oh, it went backwards because... I'm probably going to have this wrong, but it went backwards because it is going through pairs like this going backwards. I think if you go for, there's another function, I think there's 3 functions. iPairs, I think, is one of them, but I think there's another one. iPairs, I think, if I understand this correctly, because the key is first and second instead of an actual numerical value, so I'm thinking this will fail? Yeah, it'll fail. Okay, so you said iPairs only does the numeric keys and does them in order. So those keys that we have there are not numeric. Pairs without the I does all the keys, numeric and non-numeric, but doesn't guarantee to get them in order. Oh, so does it just do random order? Iteration doesn't have to mean in order, it just means that the code visits them all. Okay, so somehow pairs goes through all the keys out of order. I didn't think a computer could do anything out of order, but okay. And so it does that, and then iPairs goes through the numerical ones, but in order. So that makes sense. There's a third, like pairs and iPairs, that's new to... Well, okay, so I thought it was... Yeah, okay, so if it's new to you, if you haven't heard of it, then I probably am remembering wrong. That's probably the case. I thought there was something, though, that... something that iterated straight through and something that iterated in reverse order. Like, that's... I thought there was something like that, but that doesn't appear to be the case. So, that being that. Okay, so let's try to understand this a little better this time then. Since iPairs, where's the code up here? So you get the slot list, and then and you have the values. Oh, so if you have a table that doesn't have, so what we have here, if we edit test, okay, if you have a table here that, and I think I should actually keep an eye on the sunlight as well. There we go. Okay, if you have a table here that has first is the key, 1 is the value, second is the key, 2 is the value. If you don't have a this equals that kind of format to it, then I guess every value is just the key. So then you can use iPairs to iterate through the key and value pairs, key and value being paired together, and iterate through those, going through the I think this is sort of, I don't remember what in is, but okay. Lupus590's says, Pairs doesn't do random order in my experience, but the implementation is not defined by the Lua language. Okay, that makes more sense. If you want something backwards, then you'll need to reverse the table before feeding it to iPairs. Okay, that makes sense. Non-numeric keys don't have an order by their nature. Okay. Well, that is good to know. So, I think... So, okay, so you had a table there that was just a... I'm going to write it on the screen for anybody who's watching. So you have a table, let's just call it table, and then that would be equal to squiggly brackets, rather. And it was just simply like 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, etc. So I'm guessing these, since it doesn't have like a 1 equals something, 2 equals something, I'm guessing that this is just simply the key values in the table. That's my guess. That's my understanding. And so if this is the key values in the table, so there's no actual value attached to it except for, would it be nil? Would it be true? False? Lupus590's says in. So that's the in up here, 3 lines above, for key value in iPairs. In behaves like equals. It also does the iteration, but you can pretend that pairs/iPairs does that. Okay, so technically in does the iteration. So what does iPairs technically do? I guess just makes it into... No, but the key and value pairs are already in the table, so... What? Lupus590 says... It's quite clear when you make a custom iterator. Nope, keys are optional in tables. You're defining the values. The keys can be inferred by the order. Okay, so let's say for the sake of simplicity, let's say like you're saying that in, or that iPairs does the iteration, and in does the equals. Your table 1, 2, 3, so down here, table equals 1, 2, 3, etc., etc., is the same as, so instead of 1, it would say 1, or square brackets 1 equals 1, then square brackets 2 equals 2, the equals 2 being outside the square brackets. And so I'm guessing so you said the keys can be inferred by the order, so that means that these values are actually the values, and then the keys is the order of it, I think, right? That seems to make sense. Pairs and iPairs convert the table into an... Pairs and iPairs convert the table... Table? I think I'm getting tired. Pairs and iPairs... Oh! Well, hello! Antuine_10. Hello! Welcome to you. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the day. Welcome to the stream. Basically, what's happening here, Lupus590 is teaching me about programming, how to program in Minecraft. And I'm being completely clueless. Completely clueless. That's pretty much what's happening around here. So, and he's trying to explain pairs and iPairs, if you have any idea what that means. So pairs and iPairs convert the table into an iterator function, since in only understands how to use a function. Oh, so in is basically an equals. So on the screen here, for key and value, so you have key and value in iPairs. In is basically an equals. So you're defining key and value are variables. in is the equals, so it goes inside of I pairs. And then I pairs, what did you say? I pairs converts the table. So the table's on the top line. And a table is just a storage of values. I pairs converts the table into, what's it called? Oh, it's not supposed to be I pairs there either. I just remembered. It's supposed to be pairs technically, because the ones at the top don't actually have numbers. But anyway, so in is like an equals, and it does iteration through something. The something it's looking for is a function, right? Yeah, iterator function. So a function that is compatible with an iterator, I think would be a way of phrasing it, right? So that Ep9 says, I didn't listen to my computer robotics teacher, so I don't understand programming that well. Join the club. Join the club. I do not understand it that well, but I'm slowly, very, very slowly, but slowly learning. So that's the thing. We're doing here, I'm assuming that you're just tuning in. We are at the moment playing Lupus590's ComputerCraft challenge, which is a challenge you can do for Minecraft, and I think it's getting dark. I'm not entirely sure. Let me just check on that. Nope. It's a challenge you can do. Basically, the goal is to defeat the Ender Dragon, beat Minecraft, basically, but you cannot break or place blocks. You can only program these little turtle things to do everything for you. That is the issue. And there's simpler ways to program, and there's more advanced ways to program. And you can do a lot with the simple way. We're trying to learn a little bit more of an advanced way to do it here. That's kind of the idea. But it is, in fact, a lot of fun. Throughout the previous episodes of the live streams, we've done a bunch of things. We've had the turtles do mining for us, so they've mined an entire chunk, which is actually 2 chunks, which is very, very nice. We used them to build a one of those mob farms, the old style mob farms. It's a dark chamber and water streams and all that. And I've made a program, or it still has some issues. But as you can see, it basically built the chamber and set up the water and everything inside it as well, which is amazing. And a bunch of different things like that. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Some of them are quite simple. Some of them are quite complicated. And right now I'm trying to understand a very difficult concept. Very difficult concept indeed. Ep9 says we worked on Arduino and Raspberry Pi. Ooh, those are neat. Which model of Raspberry Pi did you have? Because I have some Raspberry Pis, but I think it's either the first version or the second version. It's so ridiculously slow. Now, I don't know if... Actually, no, it is the CPU on that is ridiculously slow. So, but I've heard they improved quite a lot. But they're a lot of fun. A lot of fun indeed. Ep9 says, I'll just be lurking while doing homework. Well, have fun with your homework. Hopefully it goes well. Homework is kind of important. Kind of important indeed. All right. Lupus590's says, also, first equals 1 in a table is the same as... Okay, so I don't understand what the square brackets mean in that case. Square brackets around a first string of text equals 1. Okay. Lupus590 says, I'm teaching a lot more about tables and iterators than I expected to. Yeah, well, thank you for teaching this. This is actually very, very insightful. Very, very helpful. There's pieces of it, like I keep saying, there's pieces of what you're explaining that are falling into place and making sense. I think it feels like a 100-piece puzzle or something. You know, the frame has already been built a long time ago, and we're trying to put the pieces together, and I'm like, certain pieces are making sense, but the rest is still not making sense. And it's somehow, I don't know if it's just me, but I'm just not getting it, not getting the whole picture. Um, so it's slowly starting to make sense. Lupus590's says this might work as similar. Local iterator equals I pairs 1, 2, 3 for k and v. So k and v are variables in iterator do. Okay, I'm gonna try. Should I try writing this down? No, actually, that might break. What? Okay, actually, that might break. The iterator needs some funny arguments. Okay. Square brackets means key. Either going into one or defining one. Okay. So, see, what confuses me now is down here, this, if we look at, okay, so for, if we try to do I pairs on the one up above, so you say first there is the key, you said. Okay, so first is the key, 1 is the value, so the keys, I don't even know how to phrase the question. Well then, that's hopeless. If I can't phrase the question, that is hopeless. Lupus590 says table.example is equal to table square brackets an example in quotes within the square brackets. Well then. If we, you know what? The longer I do this, the more my computer seems to thermal throttle and slow down. So that's not great. But Lupus590 says first is a string. I pairs only works with numeric keys. Okay, so I think I get it. So, but then down here, the table where it just has 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, that kind of thing. These are the values, not the keys. So where is the key? You said the key is sort of, is the word ellipsed, I think? Like the key is just sort of implied. So if you do I pairs to iterate through this, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, then it would create, because these are the values, these aren't the keys, so it needs a key to iterate through, so it would create a key kind of thing. Because why does the table at the top of this program, why does that not have numeric keys behind the scenes, but the table down below does have numeric keys behind the scenes? That is a question. That is indeed a question. Okay. Lua has a lot of syntactic sugar that seems to be confusing you. Yes, I think. What does syntactic mean? Let me look that up in the dictionary, but I think it has to do with syntax. Syntax. Syntactic. There, this might... I think my dictionaries have disappeared again. They like to be... My iPhone likes to delete my dictionaries for me, very kindly of it, and then I have to wait like a week and turn the Wi-Fi on and to get them back. Lupus590 says the key is inferred. More syntactic sugar. Okay, so I think that has to do with syntax. So yeah, okay, so the key is inferred. So, oh. So what you mean to say, so Lewis sees the equals in the first table and can figure out to make it with string-based keys. Can figure out to make it with string. Okay, so Lupus590's says I'm not qualified to give English lessons. Well, that's definitely a thing. Okay, so what you're saying is down here on the second table down here, the keys are inferred. So keys and values. Values is the value, so it can be whatever the value happens to be. Could be a number, could be a string of text, could be whatever. So the value is here. The key is inferred because of its location in the table. So this would be key 1. This is key 2, key 3. Where it says 5 here, that would be key 4 because it's the 4th place in the table. 6 is key 5. 7 is key 6 because it's the 6th place in the table. But if you define a key for it, like on the top table, then it will replace the implied numeric key with a string of text in this case. A string of text in this case. If I understand correctly. Now, if it replaces the numeric key with a string of text, what does that then do to the other keys in the place? So, like, for example, if we take this lower table down here and we add, let's say, I don't know, tree is equal to big. There. Tree is equal to big. So, what happens then in that case, if I understand right? Lupus590 says in the second table, Lewis sees no equals. Wait, no equal. Lewis sees no equals. Oh, okay. I thought the and was part of the thing. Okay. In the second table, Lewis sees no equals and so starts making numeric keys. Okay. The very confusing thing is when people start using functions as keys. Yes, that's valid Lua. Whoa, okay, that sounds really complicated. But okay, so what would happen here if we add a key of our own? And I'm going to add an extra 4 in here as well, just for the sake of making it make sense. Make more sense, line up better. So, without the tree equals big here, what this should do, I think, would be 1, the value of 1 has the implied key of 1. 2 has the implied key of 2, 3 has the implied key of 3 because they are in that location in the table. Now, big we have defined a key, we have defined tree as the name of the key, so big does not have a numeric key value, which then means that we continue in the 5th spot in this table because tree is in the 4th spot. In the 5th spot in this table, would that have the implied key of 5 because it's the 5th spot? Or would it have the implied key of 4 because it's the 4th numeric key in the list? That's what I don't know. I'm confused. Very confused. Lupus590 says, time to introduce you to printing tables, I think. Oh, hi, printing tables. I'm Robert from Peculiar Pine Tree. Glad to meet you. Glad for the introduction. All right. Lupus590 says, local, pretty, equals, require. Quote, cc.pretty, pretty.print, what? Okay. Use that top Wait, use that top print your table. What? You mean you put one line at the top and put the other line on top of the table? Which table? This table? Oh. Oh, I think I see what you're saying. Okay, so put it right here. So variable, let's create one of those. Pretty is equal to require, and then we need, not sure what this is, cc.pretty. Okay. Then this is pretty dot print pretty, and what's that dot? Pretty, and then that is, okay, there's a lot of closing brackets and opening brackets, and inside there we need to put square brackets as well. 1, 2, 3. And that is that. Okay, and we don't need this semicolon up here. Oh dear, now I have to explain optional function brackets. I understand optional function brackets, I think. Wait, optional function brackets? I know optional function arguments. Use that to print your table. Oh, I see. You're saying put that around the table. I think. I don't know. I'm going to fill this in here. I'm going to finish filling this in. So this would be tree is equal to big, and then 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And actually, it's supposed to say big with a G. Come on, over here. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Lupus590's says, basically in Lua, brackets can be omitted if the function is called with single a string or tablet literal. I think single is a misspelling, possibly. Oh, with a single, maybe? With a single string or tablet literal. More syntactic sugar, basically. Okay. Okay, so let's try using this to print my table here. See what happens. So let's run the test program. Aha, so... Oh. So it starts with... Wait, was it a... What did it print? It wasn't iPairs. What's pretty? Pretty's not iPairs, so I'm confused. Lupus590 says... Person. Can I do X in Lua? Lua? If not yes, then there's a language feature that will let you basically do it. Okay. Oh, table literal. Okay. Can be omitted if the function is called with single a string or table literal. Okay. Okay, so it's slowly making a little bit more sense. Also, I'm gonna have to end fairly soon. I think I'm not going to fully understand it this time, but I think next time if we go and start working on this, working on trying to understand it, then it should come a lot more clearly. So let's actually, I'm going to disable that line, comment it out, and I think I can probably understand enough to type in what you were saying. So if we create a table, and let's call it, let's make it here with the brackets and things. Lupus590 says pretty makes use of pairs and pairs, probably I pairs, I guess. Pairs and I pairs, probably. I think I pairs, right? I'm sort of trying to correct for spelling things, and I'm not entirely sure if I'm getting it right. But probably to display things in a nice way. Very useful for debugging tables. That's neat. Okay, so if we create a table here, let's actually just call it craftable slots. Crafting slots. Okay, crafting slots, and let's say this would be, because this turtle creates a crafting grid inside him there, so this would be 1, 2, 3, then 4 is skipped, then 5, 6, 7, and then 8 is skipped, so then 9, 10, 11. Okay, so that is now a table of crafting slots that can now be used. Lupus590's says, wow, that was a long tangent. What was this turtle meant to do again? Oh, yes, that's a good point. What this turtle was meant to do, he is meant here to take the dried kelp out of this hopper here and take it and put it, craft it into dried kelp blocks and put it into the hopper above in order to refuel the furnace. And then we can take our own dried kelp out of here. Oh, speaking of earlier, by the way, our kelp now, we have 20 kelp in the furnace ready to go. 20 is the exact number we're looking for. And this is, yep, we have 12 extra already on the way, which is excellent. Very excellent indeed. Lupus590's says, don't put in the loop. Also, don't forget about I pairs, the source of the tangent. Oh. Oh. Okay, so if I'm not putting in the loop, where am I putting it? Because here's the idea, is what we're trying to do is we're trying to actually... Yeah, this computer is lagging more and more and more and more. What we're trying to do is we're trying to have it basically select every slot that is in the crafting grid. So... cycle through... Oh! Oh, I know, I think. It's trying to cycle through every slot in the crafting grid area and pick up one item into that slot. Oh, Lupus590 says don't put it in the loop. Oh, okay. Also, don't forget about I pairs, the source of the tangent. Okay. So, yes, so if we don't put it in the loop, we actually don't need to cycle through all 16 slots either. So if we go up here, if we get rid of this, and we say, so here's the crafting slots. There, I think that's about good. So the crafting slots, we now have a list of crafting slots. Now we're going to set up using that list of crafting slots, going to set up a loop for, and then we want, I'm going to call it key and value just for the sake of keeping track of, like, trying to remember what it is, not learning multiple steps at once. So so the key of the table and the value of the table. And then I think you said in I pairs, and that would be I pairs, and it wants a regular bracket, but I'm not sure why. So we're wanting to have it loop through the table. In I pairs, yes, crafting slots. Crafting slots. Is this gonna work? I'm not entirely sure if this is gonna work. Do. And then end down here. Okay, so let's see. So we've defined what the crafting slots are. I'm guessing, though, 10, because it's in the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th slot in that table. I'm guessing that would go as 8. Lupus590's says, table needs to go before the loop so that the loop can use it. And then remember how pairs works. I sort of remember how pairs works. So I think this should work, right? So this... But then what is... We need to... Okay, we need to have it select. We need to have turtle.select. And maybe key. Yeah, I think when I asked the question, I think I jumped ahead a few stages. Lupus says, pairs and iPairs are normal functions. In is the magical one that uses the return values of those functions. Okay. So, what should be happening here, and we're getting a fair amount of lag again. I need to get the PC fixed for sure, and then stop having to deal with this thermal throttling. Okay, so what this should do, I think, we have defined the crafting slots. And what it should do is it should go through it, take the crafting slots table, iPairs turns it into a function, an iteratable function, and then in is like equals, and it iterates through iPairs. And so then we have it select slot the key. Now I think it should be the value, actually. I think maybe it should be the value here. Select value, because in our crafting slots table, the value of 10 is in the 8th position on the table. So if we say key, then it would just go increase 1 every time, instead of giving us, like, selecting the slot that is the same as the value. So it would, in other words, it would select slot 8 when it's supposed to be selecting slot 10. That's theoretically the idea. So select the slot, the value, and then suck one item into that slot, and that should set up the grid for crafting. Let's see about... Let's just notate that. Let's just write that in here. Set up crafting grid. If I can spell properly. There we go. All right. So let's see if this runs. And craft dried kelp block. Oh, so far so good. Ooh, so far really good. It is grabbing all of the kelp out of that chest over there. Now, we obviously need to account for what if it doesn't have any kelp in there, and then what does it do? It should wait. So edit, and we'll fix all these things next time, but we need to basically have, because we have been going for 2 hours and 43 minutes. We need to basically have it wait and not proceed until it can grab an item. Oh, actually, we can do... I think that's a simple thing. If we just simply, on the turtle.suck command, if we just simply say, if turtle.suck, then move on, or something. Oh, wait, let's do a repeat loop. Okay, hang on. Repeat, because repeat loops basically will repeat until they get a desired result. So repeat, and we're going to repeat asleep. So repeat until turtle.suck one item. So what this should do, Turtle.suck will say to this repeat loop, it will say true or false, I think. True or false whether it has worked or not. And so if it worked, then it would say true, and then the repeat loop would end. If it said false, that means it didn't work, and the repeat loop would not end, and we want to repeat. Let's wait for 10 seconds. Let's say os.sleep for 10 seconds. There. Save. Aha. So, that appears like it should work now. So if we, actually, let's test that. Let's grab a whole bunch of dried kelp and take it all out of the inventory there, and take a whole bunch of it out of the chest as well, so that we only have 4 in the chest. And we'll see this should wait around for us. That's the idea. It should stall at the repeat loop until we have the extra items. So, whoops, we also need to sleep so we don't get creepers coming up. That would not be ideal. Not be ideal whatsoever. Whatsoever indeed. And we're getting a lot more lag now. The longer we go, the more lag we get, so that's not great. Not great. So the stream is about 24% lag right now. So sorry about that. Gonna have to try to fix that. Hopefully I can fix that for next week. Here we are. So there's nothing in the hopper right now. Nothing in the turtle right now. So if we put, say, 4 items in the hopper, 1, 2, 3, 4, then what it should do, if we program this correctly, is it should cycle through, fill in the first 4 crafting grid slots with items, and then wait at the 5th and not move on to the end until it gets extra. That's what it should do. So, what was it called? It was called Craft Dried Kelp Block. Okay, so it starts by doing nothing. It didn't pick anything up, and it did nothing. Okay. It's stuck in the wait. Why is it stuck in the wait? Edit. Craft dried kelp block. Let's see. It's got to be stuck in the wait. That's the only place it could be stuck. os.sleep. But why does it not run, like, sucking in an item and then say if it's true or false? Why does it not run that? Oh, it runs sleep 1 time. Oh, okay, so let's, you know what? Let's reduce the sleep timer. Let's reduce it down to 5 seconds. And let's just see if that's the issue, that it was running sleep 1 time. Craft dried kelp block, and what this should give us is, this should give us, if it works, it should give us an infinite amount of food, basically. Because the dried kelp oh, yes. Okay, so that's a problem. It waited 5 seconds first before doing it. Lupus590's says use a while loop instead. You wait and then try to suck. Yeah, what I wasn't sure about was how to exit the loop. That's the issue. Okay, so let's terminate this. Edit, craft dried kelp block. We want to also put all this back in the hopper for testing purposes. And there we go. There we go. Okay, so now, yes. So a while loop, because we are sleeping every single time. Well, what? Oh, I think it's just simply, well, not, so, because turtle.suck will say true if it worked or false if it didn't. It will tell the loop that. So, well, not turtle.suck, because if it's true, if it worked, if it got an item, then we want it to move on. If it didn't get an item, we want it to stop. So if it didn't, well, not turtle dot suck one item, then, so while true, do. So while that is true, do the sleep thing, and end. There we go. There we go, there we go, there we go. All right, well, not turtle.suck1 do os.sleep end, and we can delete this until down here. Okay. All right, all right. Theoretically, this should work. Theoretically, you never know. So it theoretically should go through, should not sleep as long as it's finding items. Now, if it finds an item, so it will select the slot, it will try to suck an item into it, and if it doesn't find an item, it should stay on that slot. So it should stay on an empty slot is what it should really do until it finds an item to put into it. Let's see if it, in fact, does that. Let's see. Craft dried kelp block. 1, 2 kelp, 3 kelp, 4 kelp. Select slot 5 and stay there. And it's sleeping. Staying there. That's great. That's very, very, very nice. We also need food, almost. Almost. Actually is the more... Actually is the A word that fits better in that sentence. But anyway. Yeah, kelp takes a long time to fill up on. That's for sure. That is for sure. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There we are. Okay, so now, you know what this does for us? This would mean that we would also have an infinite source of fuel as well. Let's see. Okay, so if I put 1 extra dried kelp in there, that should get picked up momentarily and move on to slot 6. Theoretically. Aha, that got picked up, moved on to slot 6. Now it's waiting. And then if we put the rest of them in there, and maybe a couple extra. Hello. There. Okay, I think it picked them all up already. Yep, okay, so it picked them all up. So it filled in the entire crafting grid. That's excellent. And it ended the program. That is what we told it to do. That is indeed what we told it to do. So, what we're going to have to do is, next time, we're going to have to continue from here. We're going to have to... The plan is, at least. The plan is to take this thing, actually craft the dried kelp into a dried kelp block, and drop the block up here into the hopper up above. Now that we have a better understanding of how to define crafting grids and all that kind of thing, that is apparently a little bit of a difficult thing to understand, or else I'm just pretty clueless today. But anyway, that is a thing, and this is a hopper, and that is that. What this will give us, we'll also need to add an extra kelp farm or 2 on the sides. But what this will give us is this will give us basically an infinite source of fuel in dried kelp blocks, and it will give us an infinite source of food, although it is a pretty pathetic food, but it is a food nonetheless. So, that is that. And then when we have a solid source of food and a solid source of fuel, then we shall be able to head to the Nether from there. I think we might want to finish our mob farm first, because there's a few peculiarities we have not yet finished in that program, so we might want to do that first, and then we can head to the Nether. And then we also, I don't know if we'll spend as long in the Nether, we might, but because you never know what exactly is coming. But in the Nether, of course, we already have a lot of our programs pre-set up, ready to go. So yeah, so we'll have to see. Although it is quite a different animal if you're worried about falling into lava all the time. So, anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. Next time, as I said, we shall try to finish this guy and actually craft these dried kelp that we can now use, and we can now get into the inventory, and that will be excellent. So, see you guys next time.